Hi everybody, Chris with Paveya here to show you some tips and tricks for WordPress, and today we're going to start by showing you how to post a blog on WordPress. WordPress actually started out as a blog hosting site, and it's developed into so much more than that. A lot of people, including us here at Paveya, use it for designing a lot of our websites. It's a very handy tool, and it's very easy to use once you get the hang of it. There's just a couple tips and tricks, especially with posting blogs, that we want to talk about here. So when you sign into your WordPress site, you come to this page. This is the dashboard. And in future videos, we'll go over what everything here means, but I want to show you how to post a blog. So you get into your dashboard, and then you just mouse over post, and you're going to want to add a new post. And that takes you to this screen. Now this looks probably pretty familiar to you. This is just how Microsoft Word and a lot of other websites look. So it should be fairly easy and fairly recognizable for you. Now you're going to start by adding your title of your blog, and in this case we're just going to write something very basic. Chris's WordPress video tips posting a blog. Okay, so that's the title. Now down here in the right, you're going to have different categories. As my microphone falls off almost, we're going to have different categories based on what you're posting about, based on what your website is about. If you're not doing the designing of your own website, make sure that if you have a blog, and you should have a blog, that they set up a bunch of different categories that you need. In this case, I don't have a lot. This is my personal WordPress page that I don't really use much anymore, but I did add this one category down here, WordPress tips. So it corresponds. Make sure it corresponds with what you are talking about and writing about in your blog. Now, as you can see, this title is rather long. This title actually gets pasted into the URL automatically, so you can shorten these up, and we're going to do WordPress video tips. So we're just going to get rid of the Chris part and the posting a blog part, and we have WordPress video tips. Shorten it as you see fit. Now we're ready to write. Now you can very easily type something in here, and I'll do this just to kind of show you. It's hard to type and talk. I've learned doing these videos, so bear with me for just a moment here while I type some text so I can show you what we're doing. Test 2. So you can see that WordPress, when I hit enter after the one sentence to go to another paragraph, automatically double spaces. And sometimes this can create problems. It can triple space or quadruple space or whatever. So just double check when you preview, which is right up here in the top right, before you post it, just to make sure it didn't add an extra space. And we'll get into more of that when we're ready to publish. Okay, so we added a little bit of text. Now, most of you probably will use Microsoft Word, OpenOffice, another software to write first so you can spell check and do all that, and then paste it in here. Well, there's some problems if you do that. I've already written something up here, and common thought would say I can just copy and paste this right into my WordPress blog just like that. Well, look what happened when I did that. Now you can see here that this is double spaced with 1.5 spacing. I don't know what they call it, but not single spaced paragraphs, and then double spaced right after the paragraph. Well, what did it do here? It created a whole bunch of other spaces, which now I have to go in and delete. And trust me when I say this, you'll probably have more formatting issues than just that basic thing. So how do you avoid that, and how do you just get rid of all the potential formatting problems? Well, when you have your blog ready to go ahead and select it, copy it, open up Notepad, and paste it into Notepad. Okay, this gets rid of all the formatting issues. And then you can copy and paste all of this right into your WordPress blog and watch what happens. See how it didn't add that extra space like that? That's because all of the formatting was dropped by going from, open up the wrong thing, opened Office or Microsoft Word into Notepad. This is a very important step here, and in our blog, if you don't do that step, your life, as I'm about to show you, will be difficult because you're going to have formatting issues. The formatting issue that I just showed you might not seem that complicated, but when you're writing a 500-word blog, when you're adding pictures, when you're doing different colors in your text, when you're linking, when you're doing things and not even really paying attention, and you just copy and paste from Word or from OpenOffice or whatever it is that you use, it will be difficult. So take that extra step. Again, copy everything right into Notepad, paste it, select all, copy it, and paste right into your blog, and you won't have any issues, I promise. Now that you have your text, you might want to add a link, change some of the text. You can bold things now, just like I'm doing right here. You can italicize things if you prefer. Again, fairly simple stuff. It's just like Microsoft Word or OpenOffice or whatever you use. Now, if you want to add a link, which most people do in their blogs, I will show you how to do that. You just want to highlight the words that you want to have provide a link to, and then you're going to go up here and insert edit link, and we're going to go to Paveya's website with this link, paveya.com, and then you can open it in a new window if you want people to stay on your blog and open up the link in a different window. It's usually a good idea, which is what we would recommend. So click that, open the link in a new window, and then you're going to add the link. Now at this point, you've done some changes, you've copied and pasted everything. This saves automatically, but it's always a good idea to save the draft just in case, which we're going to do right now. And then you can preview what you've done so far. So here's Microsoft Word. I've highlighted it, linked it to Paveya, and we're going to open it up and make sure that link works. And since it opened up in another window, the blog's still open here. So that's how you add a link. Now, if you would like, you can add a picture. How to add a picture is up in the top left. Go to Upload and Insert. Now, you can do it from a URL, but try to have your own images if you can. Again, this part might look a little bit different depending on what version of WordPress that you're using. I'm going to add my little doggy back home here into the post. So you click Upload once you browse for the file that you want. You can change the name. That's the name of the doggy, if you would like to, and then when people mouse over it, they will see the name. And then you go down here and click Insert into Post, just like that. Now, if you don't want it on the left-hand side like this, and you forgot to do it, like I always do, all you have to do is go to Edit Image, and right now it's not aligned, and we want to align it on the right-hand side, and you'll see how much better it looks. Click Update, and there you go. There's a little scooter doggy, and there's our text right here on the left. Now we're going to save this again, and once again take a preview of it just to make sure everything looks okay. Sometimes when you add an image, WordPress will add an extra space at the top here, so be aware of that. Again, always preview things before you publish, but you can see this looks pretty good here on the page. Alright, so we're done with our blog now. We want to add a couple of tags. So in this case, it's a WordPress video, so I'll do WordPress Blog Tips. And you can add a couple more if you want. WordPress Blog Advice. And then you just click Add. How to set up a blog on WordPress. These are things that people might search for, so you want to make sure that your tags are very specific. So you have your category, you have your tags, you have your blog the way you want it, and now all you have to do is click publish, unless you don't want to publish it immediately, in which case you can schedule it from a week from now, 2 weeks from now. We're going to do October 17th at, let's do it at 12:58 in the afternoon. And then you click OK, and it's scheduled for that. And then one final step, you have to click schedule. Again, do that if you don't want it to go out immediately. If you want it to go out immediately, you can just hit publish. And then once again, we'll take a preview of the post. Always check, double check, make sure there's no spelling errors, things like that. And that's how you set up a blog in WordPress. Come on back, we'll have more videos on how to use WordPress a little more advanced as we progress. Thanks for listening, everybody.